It may seem odd bringing together science and religion, but as I gathered these objects for this display, it brought to mind psychologist Abraham Maslow and the prophet Elijah. When we think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it begins with the basics of air, water, and food, and then moves on to the second level, which is security and safety. But it is the third level that I'm speaking of today, the need to belong. We need to belong to family, to friends, to a community. The Lord's prophecy through Elijah spoke of turning the hearts of the fathers to their children and the hearts of the children to their fathers. What is Elijah speaking of? It's all about connection, connection to one another. Most importantly, the connection and belonging to a family, God's family. In front of me are books and journals and photos that connect me to my earthly family. It is the connection and knowledge of our earthly family that culminates in temple work and strengthens God's eternal family. For a couple of years now, I've only had one item on my bucket list, and that is to write my personal history. Why is this so important to me? My parents left me an extraordinary gift, and as I open the pages to their beautifully written personal histories, I begin to understand where I belong, how I connect to family, and I learn so much from their experiences. It is the impact that their lives have had on me that I want to continue for my children and grandchildren. So when do we find the time to reflect and to write? It's not easy, but it is doable. Taking just a few minutes each day or each week to reflect on memories that brought us great joy or taught us important lessons. It is when I read how my mother struggled occasionally with feeling blue that I reflect on my own insecurities as a mother. But then I realize not only did she survive motherhood, but she thrived, and so can I. So how do you begin? Like the words say, begin, the rest is easy. I have a wealth of information here to be able to use, but it's not absolutely necessary. The exercise of looking at a photo, listening to a particular song, or even the smell that comes from the kitchen when something is baking brings all sorts of unique memories to mind, memories that are stories unwritten. Writer Isaac Dinesen said, "To be a person is to have a story to tell." By writing our personal histories, we are not only satisfying our human need to belong, as Maslow discovered, but we are fulfilling Elijah's injunction of knitting the generations together. Is it time to tell your story?